But first tonight, a Philadelphia psychologist files a civil rights lawsuit against the city, the police, and the police commissioner, claiming he was beaten by a cop. It's a story first reported by Jeff Cole and Fox 29 Investigates back in April. Jeff joins us with more of the federal suit brought on by Anthony Abrams.
This is going to go for a while now, Thomas. When we reported the Anthony Abrams claims back in the spring, he said he'd bring a suit against the city, and he has, in fact, done it. And while this happens, the head of a police watchdog group says he's likely to hold a public hearing on what went wrong here. Let's look at some pictures. Now, the pictures of Anthony Abrams' injuries are hard to look at. His eye socket was fractured and required surgery. Abrams, a city psychologist who works at a correctional facility in Bucks County, claims they're the result of a brutal beating by Philadelphia police officer Eric Burke. Abrams says he was in this York Street neighborhood looking for a client when Officer Burke saw him hand $20 to a local woman who claimed that she would take him to his client. Abrams claims Burke stopped him and knocked him to the ground and stomped on his head. Officer Burke, who has refused comment, claimed in arrest documents that Abrams tried to punch him and resisted arrest. Anthony Abrams was later charged with assault and resisting, but those charges were dropped by DA Seth Williams. Now, Police Department Internal Affairs is investigating this incident. Last spring, Abrams told us his story.
He immediately face slammed me into the street. He then put his boot on my head and said, "You tell me what you're really doing here, or I'm going to kick your effing head in." I said, "Officer, I'm looking for this woman who's a client of mine. I'm a psychologist." And then he kicked my head in.
Now again, Officer Burke has refused comment. In police documents, he claimed that Abrams attacked him. Abrams was charged, but those charges were dropped. Now, the Police Advisory Commission, that watchdog group I spoke about, is also probing the case, and the head of the group says he's likely to call Officer Burke and Abrams to testify in a public hearing in this case. The head of the Police Department's Internal Affairs Unit declined comments. Abrams is seeking at least $100,000 in damages.